Today at Electric Fetus, two local authors signed copies of Bob Dylan in Minnesota, a Troubadour Tales from Duluth, Hibbing and Dinkytown. Matt Steichen and Marc Percansky were recruited to co-write the book by lead author K.G. Miles of London.
There are hundreds and hundreds of Bob Dylan books, but this one's written by people that have spent a lot of time reading about him and thinking about him and analyzing his work and his life, and we tell a lot of interesting anecdotes and stories in this book.
This is the encyclopedia of Bob Dylan here. He said it right. It's a wonderful book. First time we've both written for a book. We're lifelong Bob Dylan fans.
Grab your copy at a local bookstore or record store today. It's the third of 3 books in the series by Miles, including Bob Dylan in London and Bob Dylan in the Big Apple. And speaking of Bob Dylan.
Today, Care in the Air flies over the childhood home of one of America's greatest songwriters. Bob Dylan lived in this house in Hibbing as Bobby Zimmerman from 1948 until 1959. According to Atlas Obscura, he walked to school, played in high school rock bands, and eventually left for the U. Dylan dropped out after a year and just 2 years later wrote Blowing in the Wind. A superfan bought his house, and while the inside isn't open to the public, the owner is said to occasionally give tours. You can still see where a young Bob once carved his name on his wall.